So it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon here with my buddy Mike. Mike wanted to come down and look at the RV lot. Mike is a subscriber, watches the channel, and just wanted to come out and say a few things on the show today. We're going to talk a little bit about why you should be training, getting in better shape, working on your jiu-jitsu, why you need to be paying off your debt, why you need to be saving cash. Take a look at the inventory. Mike wanted to come down and look at the RVs today and just see what was happening for himself. The RV lot is absolutely stacked with very, very expensive RVs. These are over $500,000, and there's nobody here kicking tires today. It's got to be, what do you think, Mike, 82 degrees today?
It's a beautiful day, about 85 degrees.
85. And we're basically the only ones here looking at RVs, bringing in another one. They can't even squeeze them in. It's unbelievable. They're gorgeous.
They're overstocked by far.
So no doubt, now that interest rates have gone up, the price to borrow money to buy something like this has exploded and has priced so many people out now of the RV market. What's your perception of all this, Mike?
I think if you buy one of these, you're really crazy. You know, I mean, the prices of these are way overpriced. Then they try to tell you that they're giving you a deal, but it doesn't really seem like a deal to me.
So this one right here, let's turn around. This was $500,000 and knocking $80,000 off. I think this was on my show 2 videos ago, or two RV videos ago.
Yeah, that's a little bit high, I think, you know, for that.
So nobody's here though,
No,
right?
No.
So we're gonna walk down here.
I think people are smart. They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait it out. I mean, if you really want something like that, wait.
Wait. Or look at the secondary market, the used market,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. I mean, you know, to off one of these is damn near impossible right now.
Look at these
If you
things.
want to sell one of these, you better give it away. This is just insane.
Every time I come here, Mike, the lot just keeps getting deeper with RVs, and these are
top of the line, dude.
These are
the
top of
best-
the line.
These are the best RVs in the world. These are where the rock stars travel in and go on tour in. These are no joke, dude.
yeah,
These
you're
are nicer than some people's homes.
yeah, these are really nice. And look at the inventory.
I think it's a sign of a well-to economy that's falling off the cliff. This is what they had in mind a couple years ago on where the America was going to go economically wise. Now it's hitting a wall, and you're seeing it.
So what do you think? Well, like, what happens, do you think, to a dealership that is sitting on inventory? I mean, this is multi-millions.
They're going to lose their ass. Excuse my language, but they're going to lose their butt.
Yeah.
They're going to lose it, and it's going to be sad because you know what? These people.
Look at the vans. They never had these vans before, Mike. Look at all these vans. Wow. Yeah, so all Mercedes vans, those things are probably well over 100. I mean, a couple 100,000.
Oh, at least. In the used market, you can't pick up one used for for 50,000. No way. It's higher than that. They're high priced.
Yeah. And then we got more of these massive RVs. And I've shot a couple videos here, and it's just mind-blowing. Like every month, it just seems like more and more inventory. There's another one out here at the other end of town. They could not even put another RV on the lot. But when you look at the massive amount of inventory and the I mean, there's tens of millions of dollars of inventory sitting here just on this one lot. And it's mind-boggling that it's 82, 85 degrees today. Nobody's here. We're the only ones walking around. But I just wanted to open up the video today. We'll talk to Mike about a few things, but just to show you what's going on. What's this, Mike?
Airstream.
Airstream.
Beautiful, beautiful.
What's something like that going for?
Oh God, over $100,000.
Over 100. Let's take a look at that. Wow.
That's the top of the line. That's what you want to go camping in. Or yeah, that's the best. I'd rather have that than the big ones myself.
So these are all going to be what, fifth wheelers here?
Yeah, you need a diesel pusher to pull those, right?
So you're going to need a $100,000 truck to pull that. Mm-hmm. Pull one of these right here. And these are going. What do these go for?
These are probably over $100,000, and they're, you know, these are not really the fifth wheel ones here you're seeing. These are the moderate ones. They have ones over there that are way more than this.
And we have more over here across the street.
They're overstocked, dude.
Wow. I mean, I've never seen this many RVs here and campers. It's unbelievable.
It shows you that it's a stagnant market.
Very. So
there's nobody here. It's a beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're the only ones out here.
Nobody here. It's not like we're in the middle of nowhere.
Look at this. I mean, this is gorgeous.
We're right in the middle of Palm Desert.
Yeah, right off I-10.
Yeah,
Let's cross the street. Let's just,
you know, the freeway's got cars on it.
let's take a peek. Let's take a peek over here. Yeah, so I like to come out here every few months, just kind of gauge what's going on. You know, the auto lots.
I think it's a good barometer to see really where things are headed, because, you know, people in America are all about recreation and vacationing and stuff. And
this tells us that it's going to be a lot different this summer.
I don't think people vacation as much as they used to anymore.
This summer is going to be a lot different. Take a look at this. I mean, they're everywhere.
Beautiful, though. I mean, you got to admit, they're not ugly. They're beautiful pieces of machinery.
Yeah, yeah.
These, you know, when you look at the craftsmanship that's put into these are made in America, man. This is
out in Indiana. This is Elkhart, Indiana, I believe, where they've laid off a lot of people.
They're not, you know, they don't make crap. This is good stuff.
Yeah. What is something like this going to run?
That's probably about 60 G's, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's right now. Yeah, see, right now it's 57,000. Yeah, so they want to knock it down to 41 today.
From 60.
It was 56,700. Now it's 41,000.
Wow.
And that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, considering what you get in that, it's got all the amenities of modern camping and modern living, all wrapped up in one.
Wow, look at all this.
They're self-contained. That's the beauty of it. You know, you can. They're self-contained. It's a shame. There's a lot of people in the world too, and it's like, it's a shame to see all this. Just it's going to go away. So
again, interest rates have gone up. The price to borrow money, because most people finance these things, they have been priced out.
Oh God, forget it. Forget trying to get a loan for one of these. You'll be upside down on this thing in a year, and you'll be paying way too much for it. I mean, that's the whole thing. Borrowing money right now, and you buy something on lended money, you're going to be upside down in a matter of time.
Yep.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and these things go down fast.
Yeah, but I would hope to say, if you were really in this market for these, I would say just wait it out, and you can get the one you want. It won't be used. It'll just be less in price.
Let's take a look at that. Boom.
Pretty.
Yeah. So Mike, what about like also fuel costs now, when we know that fuel prices could start really going up this summer? You're getting, what's the mileage on a diesel on one of these things?
Probably like 5 miles to the gallon.
5 miles to the gallon.
What if you get a flat tire?
Yeah. No,
you know, I mean, are you really in tune with what parts cost for these?
Right. So maintenance, fuel, insurance. But I mean, we could start seeing diesel prices explode this summer again, like last year.
Oh yeah.
And this gets very, very pricey.
The instability of things really is creating such uncertainty that you're going to see this stuff everywhere now. It's just, that's what you're seeing. People are not, you know, they're scared to go buy stuff.
Yeah.
I would be too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is a huge commitment. Huge.
I mean, people retire and buy these.
Yeah.
You know, they go travel the country in them, and it's like, that's what when I see these, I mostly see older people that are retired traveling places, and, you know, going to Yosemite and going to Montana and stuff for their retirement. It's like, these are people that aren't retiring.
But a lot of people aren't retiring now because they got to keep working because they've lost so much in their retirements, their 401ks, inflation's eating away at their savings.
I don't think retirement's a reality anymore. I think, you know, when you see, you know, I see people that work and they're well over 65 still.
Right.
You know, I know my buddy, he's in the concrete business here. He can barely do it anymore. He's worked it 35 years and he's done. You know, and he's in his 60s, and it's like, you know, he's not retiring. He's not going to retire.
Yeah, I mean, so many people now just cannot retire. With the amount of debt that people are holding right now, with what inflation's doing, with what people have lost in the retirements, and just as you said earlier, the uncertainty of everything taking place, people just, I think, would be afraid to retire.
This is the canary in the coal mine. This is telling you right now that our higher echelon of baby boomers that actually are retirable and have money can't.
Right.
It's telling you how messed up they are financially, where they can't do anything.
Or like you said, they're going to sit on the sidelines and wait for the sales. And I'm sure, a lot of people just waiting on the sidelines here.
Vultures, you know, they'll be like the vultures circling.
Yep.
Soon, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's unbelievable.
When you look at these, I mean, I don't want to be the turd in the punch bowl here, but these sitting here, look at how they're getting dirty. Look at how they're depreciating. They sit. They're
in the sun baking. And pretty soon we're going to be 120 degrees out here in the summer.
RVs don't fare well when they sit. You need to use them.
Yeah.
It's like you know,
Or this has to be, you know, covered somewhere.
They're much better when they're in operation.
Yeah, it's been an extremely windy year here, so these things have been exposed to the element. I don't know how long they've been here.
Hey, we're in the desert,
right?
You know, you got rodents. You know, rodents will get up in these things quicker than quick.
But the heat and the sun is a real killer. And these things will be baking out here in 110, 120 degree weather.
Air condition them. They're not going to come out and cool them off.
Yeah, they're not going to be covered.
No.
They're out here in the elements.
I mean, when you
exposed.
see people living in them, they have curtains and stuff, and they draw them, and they have the shades and stuff.
Right, or they try to get into something that covers them.
Oh yeah,
like a hanger.
Yeah, you don't want. This summer is going to be very detrimental to their inventory.
Yeah, if they don't move it and it's just sitting here, it will be very detrimental. So Mike wanted to come out today, just walk around a little bit, check out the RVs, and you're a subscriber, viewer. And you just wanted to share your thoughts on the economy, what you're seeing. You're in San Bernardino County, so you're about a half hour away. What are you seeing right now? And look, I'm not having an economist on. I'm just having everyday, the average Joe, Mike here. I think he's above average because he's very awake. But it's nice just to get a fresh perspective from somebody else's eyes. And so Mike wanted to come out today and just say a few words about what he's seeing with the economy out here in Southern California and what you might see nationally.
I'm seeing the price of food. It's getting out of control. I'm now helping my neighbors out with eggs, whereas before I never had to.
Because you have chickens.
Yeah, I have chickens, and I sell my eggs to my neighbors now because the price of the eggs at the store is a little outrageous. I've noticed a lot of businesses up where I'm at are starting to go away. They're having less business and less stuff on their shelves at the little stores where I'm at. I'm noticing a lot of, crime. I'm seeing a lot of stuff happen around me that I shouldn't be seeing. It's desperation.
And that just brings up something really quick. You've been doing jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
6 months.
6 months.
And you had an altercation.
Yeah.
Before that, about 6 months ago.
I was being a good Samaritan. I saw a crime unfold outside my house, and I tried to stop it. Thought I was doing the right thing, and it escalated into a conflict that lasted 6 months. And I saw Jeremiah's video around Labor Day, and I took his advice. The police wouldn't help us, so I took his advice and I took jiu-jitsu. I just striped on my white belt for the first time, and I have more confidence than I've ever had. I'm not worried about things I used to worry about.
That's fantastic. So you feel in better shape, more confident.
I'm in better shape than I was 10 years ago.
You can handle an altercation, force, and you're sticking with it. You're going to continue to get another stripe, and
it's part of my life now.
I think that's incredible.
It's not something that I regret. It's something that I highly recommend to anybody who's listening to this video. Please take a minute and look into jiu-jitsu.
And your wife's doing Muay Thai?
Muay Thai, and she's doing the jiu-jitsu, fit-jitsu through Gracie University.
Awesome.
And yeah, my wife was, they bothered us. They were trying to get us.
So some people were kind of vengeful from the altercation, and it just became it escalated to where you were dealing with this all the time. Nothing got physical yet.
No.
But it could have.
Could have.
And but it's kind of blown over now, and you've dealt with it, and everything's done, and everybody's moved on.
I'm really glad that I took jiu-jitsu. It was the missing piece of my life. It was a piece of the puzzle I really needed to have.
So again, if you have a weak link in the armor, maybe it's dealing with force, maybe it's not enough food or water, maybe it's not enough tactical training, maybe it's not enough cash, maybe it's not enough skill sets. Deal with it right now. Be proactive, don't be reactive, because it's going to be too late. So be as proactive right now. If there's something that you feel that you're lacking, this is the time to deal with it right now.
Raise your awareness.
Right. Challenge yourself, deal with it, be aware, take action, and I think you're going to be much better off for that. But moving on, financially, also you said you're paying off all the debt?
I'm out of debt.
You're out of debt.
I'm out of debt. No credit cards. I got out of the banking system. I own I have assets. I have gold. I have silver.
Skills. I mean, you have you have your own shop out of your house.
Yes, I have a little home business, and my wife started another business on top of her other job. So, yeah, we have a few hooks in the water.
So I think that's absolutely incredible, and what we all should be doing. Multiple skill sets, multiple incomes, diversified, all debt paid off, doing jujitsu, doing Muay Thai, hitting the gym, putting the food and water away, putting some cash away, but being debt free. Like, share that with everybody, being debt free. Now, I know some people like look at people going, oh, they drive a nice car, look at the zip code, beautiful house, but what they don't realize is how much debt so many of these people take on to drive that BMW, to drive the Lexus, to live at that zip code. And
the status quo is expensive.
They have the huge mortgage, they have the $1,000 car payment, you know, they have $12,000 in credit card debt. And as we talked about earlier today, if they lose a job, if they miss 2 paychecks, they're in very, very big trouble. The repo man is going to be looking for that car, and the bank's going to be calling looking for that mortgage payment. And we just said, look, really, I value wealth is in not being a debt slave. Like, maybe you live in a smaller house, you drive an older car, it's paid for, your house payment or your rent payment's very low. It allows you to put some cash away. You have some freedom. If you miss a couple paychecks, you're going to be okay. But
like, if right now, like recently, my wife, she had to take a couple days off of work because she hurt her back, you know, and normally that would have been kind of
like catastrophic to a lot of people.
Yeah, people, you can't bounce back from that. And I made an effort not to be in debt. I made an effort to, you know, just get my life down to bare minimal things where I covered my basis. And then,
you don't care what other people think, right? Like,
no,
who cares?
No, I don't have a big circle of friends.
No.
That the circle of friends I do are like me.
Yeah.
Where they live like me, and they, you know, they're not like that.
And look, if you like drive a nice car, live in a nice house, that's fine. That's what we all strive for, to just, you know, have a comfortable lifestyle. But my thing is, you got to be able to afford to pay it. If you're going to have a car payment for 7 years, you probably shouldn't buy that car. If you lose your job and you can't work for a month, and that puts you in a predicament where you could lose your house, your cars, then that's dangerous. You're much better off to rent, live below your means. And I know a lot of people will say, well, it just costs as much to rent as it is to buy. But what they don't take into account is, when you rent, you're not paying property taxes, you're not paying for repairs. If you have to move in a couple months, you could give your notice and move. You have flexibility, freedom, and you're more versatile, especially in this uncertain world. You want to be versatile right now. Being tied down to a 30-year mortgage, 7-8 years of car payments.
Too uncertain.
Dangerous.
That's too uncertain. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I don't look that far ahead, and I never did.
Right.
I mean, that to me is just, you know, asinine.
Right.
I mean, if you really need to do that, do it. I can understand people having to do it with the family, but, you know, if you don't have to do that, wait a minute, collect what you need to collect financially and buy it.
Yeah.
You know, don't sit there and be a debt slave if you don't have to.
Right. Well,
just to keep up with the Joneses.
Right. And that's why most people are debt slaves, because they want to keep up with the Joneses. They want people to look at them on social media.
From where I live to here is I cannot. It's complete opposites end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Where I live, people aren't really worried about the paint job on their car, as opposed to here. The people here are more worried about the image, whereas where I'm up where I live, they're more worried about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and surviving.
So what do you like? What would be your advice right now to people watching? What could people do right now to really protect themselves financially? What would you say?
I would say, if you have money in the bank, get it out, hedge it in silver and gold, hedge it in assets that are commodities, that you could obviously, like classic cars, for example. You could always, get your money back out of a good classic car. They don't dip as much as the newer ones.
Right. So they say, like, art, classic cars.
Niche. Classic cars have a niche.
Yeah.
Like the lowrider community.
Right.
They always will buy those cars for that price, no matter what.
Right. And that's your business. That's what you do.
Yeah.
We also talked about what's happening with China, the yuan, all these nations now talking, and some of them already taking yuan. This is going to be big trouble for the dollar. And as I was telling Mike earlier, 10 years ago, people thought this was absolutely crazy talk to think that there would be
conspiracy theory.
That this
you
would
were
be
a conspiracy theorist if you thought that.
Yeah, that dollar would ever go away or have competition.
Would ever have traction. People thought you were nuts.
Right, or if the dollar would ever have any kind of competition. And now you're beginning to see this this in the mainstream. CNBC now reporting this. Many of your big media outlets reporting now about what's happening with the yuan, and this is just the beginning and how quick it can accelerate and what it's going to do to the dollar. And it's kind of scary to think, like, you know, we just literally 2 weeks ago we're dealing with a bank crisis. Now we're going to be dealing possibly down the road here very soon with a currency crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you can't even, you go to the banks down there limiting your cash withdrawals.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what
B of A, they, just the other day, you know, my friend goes in there with his concrete business over here and tries to withdraw money to pay his workers, and they told him he had to come back in 4 days because they had to order the money.
That's scary.
So,
that is really scary.
That's just right here in Palm Springs.
Yeah, at Bank of America.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you said, nobody has a crystal ball. I mean, all we can do is connect the dots, the best that we can do. But I think right now, you got to be taking some kind of action. You got to be proactive. You just can't hope that this is all going to go away. You just can't hope that nothing bad's going to happen to you. You got into a confrontation that went on as a feud for 6 months until finally dealt with it. Take action mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, right now, like Mike is doing. Go ahead, Mike.
I would start with food. If you wanted to start somewhere, make a pantry at your house. Start preparing, because the food prices are obviously going to go up, and we have no control of that. But you can control it to a point. If you buy ahead, you could always eat it, and it's not going to be a waste of money.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree, and I talk about that daily. You know, put the food away. Put the food away. It's going to keep getting more expensive, and then also we know that we're going to see more food shortages. And so it's not even going to be a matter of price. What if the stuff does stop showing up at the store? What are you going to do?
Like you were mentioning earlier, the diesel price could go up, and then there's your supply line.
What does that do to this?
Oh, God.
The RV industry right now looks like it's just barely hanging on by a string.
I bet you. We come back here in a month, and those things are still here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're
for sure.
not gonna go
What's
anywhere.
diesel a gallon right now?
5 something.
5 something.
It's about 5.5.
All right, so I mean, we could easily see it $6.57, and these things are getting how many miles to the gallon? A big one? 5 to 10.
10 if you're lucky. The big one's about 5
Wow,
to 7.
and these things are holding 300-gallon tanks, maybe even more on some of the real big ones. Think about that.
Yeah,
it's a ghost town. It's an absolute ghost town. So
it's not a good investment anymore.
No,
you don't have people retiring, so that's it. I mean,
exactly.
we're in the retirement capital of the world,
right here,
dude.
right here.
You know, and
this
it's
is
like these things shouldn't even be here.
Nope. So what else? Anything else you want to close with? I want to thank you for coming down, by the way.
Oh,
that was
God,
great.
I can't thank you enough for your videos and how much they've helped my wife and I, and it gave us validation and insight on what we kind of knew.
Look, I'm just trying to keep it real, doing the best that I can. I could always do more.
Oh, you're a real person, man.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm trying to walk the walk just like everybody else. And that's what we all have to be doing right now, is walking the walk. There's a lot of people out there talking, but they ain't walking.
I mean, if you're watching these videos, we're kind of blessed. You know, he gives us the forecast and insight on stuff that, you know, a lot of other people have to pay a lot of money to get.
And I want to thank everybody in the comments, because so many people in the comments reporting all across the country what they're seeing in their towns, their cities, their states, what's happening in their families, what's happening in their job markets. And a lot of people reporting that they themselves have lost their jobs, or family members have lost their jobs, and we are going to see an absolute avalanche of job losses here this year. And I think, unfortunately, 2024 is going to be even worse than 2023, but we got a long way to go this year, and I think this summer is going to tell us a lot.
I agree. My wife and I, we had a conversation the other night, and we've come to the conclusion that, I mean, we were born and raised here in Southern California, and we're pretty much convinced that we're probably not going to be able to afford it.
You said California is a dying fruit.
It's a decaying fruit, yes, on the vine. It's dying. Our government here is not representing us by no means. The police here are defunded and they're overwhelmed, and a lot of them are good people, and they don't need the flack that they get.
I just looked at the CalPERS pension for the police and fire today, and it was like underfunded by like $200 billion, some ridiculous number. And before I forget, you guys looked at the Las Vegas home listings today. What was the number?
7,202 homes for sale in Las Vegas as of this morning.
And yet they're telling us there's no inventory.
No.
30 real estate agents a day quitting in Las Vegas, 1.6 million real estate agents in the US. What are they going to do when they can't sell homes? How many of them will lose their homes? How many of them right now don't have a paycheck? What are they going to do? It's going to be, this thing is going to be unbelievable.
Consolidation from like BlackRock and these big companies that bought all kinds of real estate in the past. You might see them just start monopolizing and buying it all up.
Right, and they won't need agents.
And I don't think they're really going to be friendly to the consumer at that point when they get involved on that level.
No.
I mean, people, if you really want to know, they don't treat the consumer in this country with any respect anymore. They look at you like a slave. They don't want anything more out of you but your blood. And it's like the minute that this will change in this country, maybe we might see a change for the better. In
the meantime, get ready to pay more at the store.
It seems very predatory to me.
Get ready to pay more in taxes, more at the store, more for everyday essentials, more at the pump. I just, right now, as we wrap this up,
Not
Mike.
to mention medical costs.
God
forbid if you got to go to the hospital.
How many
right
people?
Now? Oh man.
How many people we've interviewed that were homeless because they were on the streets because of medical bills that they could not make whole. Medical bills put these people on the streets. But right now, I want to ask you this, as we're wrapping this up. How in the world are people doing it right now? We talked about this earlier today. How are people keeping up with the expenses of just day-to-day life at the pump, at the grocery store, for goods, for services? It's unbelievable. I don't know how they're doing it.
We don't really go out to dinner anymore mainly because the food's crap. The quality of food is gone through the floor, and I'm not going to pay good money for that. No. We definitely have to. We don't go to concerts anymore. We don't really go out anymore because of the expenses.
So, in your opinion, how are people doing it up to this point, just to pay for food and gas and rent?
Oh, it's everybody I know has more than one job.
Yeah, that's and probably more than one credit card.
Oh God,
more than one job, more than one credit card.
I don't know anybody the majority of my friends are all drowning in debt.
Yeah.
It's sad, and it's like my friend.
And as they're drowning in debt, Mike, nothing bad has even happened yet.
No.
So what happens when it really gets bad? And these people right now, if they're drowning right now, what happens when it really gets bad?
I think we're going to see social unrest to a point. You might not see people burning and rioting, but you're going to see families break down. You're going to see the breakdown of our culture.
A moral breakdown, a social breakdown.
When a guy can't go out and make a living for his family, what's he going to do? He's going to have to go against what he believes in to find an end to the means or whatever.
Right. So that's what we talk about daily. That's the person that may come to your house and say, hey, I need your food so I can feed my kids. So
I'm already there. Yeah. I'm already helping people like that. Yeah.
So now, but the next step is what happens when people just say, hey, that's nice that you're helping, but we're coming in and just taking everything you have.
That ain't gonna happen.
So there you go. So that's that everybody has to be aware of, because this has happened in so many countries already. When people's kids are starving, they're not going to care about your kids. They're going to come to your house if they know you have food, and they're going to say, look, we're taking your food. Sorry, you've been a nice friend, you're a nice person, but you and your kids are going to have to starve. Me and my kids aren't going to starve. So you better be ready to deal with these type of situations.
A can of soup's going to, if it's coming down to a can of soup, people, you'd be surprised what people would do for that. People kill you for nothing.
That's
They'll
right.
kill you for a cigarette.
Well, people kill you for sport and entertainment right now. If they're hungry,
you think they'll hesitate?
Whew, man.
No way.
Man. And so many people I watch make these videos, and they just, all they do is talk about what's going to happen financially. Oh, the banks are going to collapse. The financials, people are going to go homeless. You better get ready for what is going to follow with an economic collapse. It is a social collapse, a social decay, a moral decay. People do really, really bad things when that happens. Just look at history. Yeah. So be ready, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm telling you, get in better shape. That's why I'm telling you to know how to deal with force. Health is wealth. You don't want to be in the system. You don't want to be addicted to pharmaceuticals. You don't want to be reliant on that stuff. You want to be your own security detail. You said when you called the police over this situation, it took over 30 minutes for them to come to your house.
Yes, and they couldn't do anything.
And they couldn't do anything. So 30 minutes, and then they couldn't do anything. So eventually you had to take care of this. You did. God bless.
I asked the sheriffs to even help out, and just, they don't even, there's no crime prevention anymore. They won't go out and try to stop something from happening. Right. They have to let it happen. And people are victims now, and it's like, it's not right.
And you all know when it really gets bad, they're not leaving their own homes. They're going to protect their own families. So that's it for me. Anything you want to wrap it up with? I'm out of here.
Stay healthy, eat your vegetables.
God bless.
Do some jujitsu.
God bless.